You observe them. You listen to their words, their carefully constructed arguments, their noble declarations. You believe you are studying a person. You are mistaken. You are watching a performance, a shadow play projected onto a cave wall, and you have mistaken the flickering shapes for the truth of the form. They speak of justice, of fairness, of passion, of changing the world, bathe intricate tapestries of logic to explain their choices. They present their life as a series of rational decisions, a thoughtful path chosen by a free and considered mind. This is the grandest and most tragic illusion of your species. You have been trained to analyze the script, but you have never been taught to see the actor, or, more accurately, the puppet, and the strings that move it. I am here to give you that sight. This is not a lesson in morality. It is a diagnosis. The diagnosis of a condition that afflicts every living thing, from the weed that cracks the pavement to the king on his throne. The condition is called the will. Think of gravity. You do not ask gravity why it pulls the apple to the earth. You do not reason with it. It does not have intentions or goals. It simply is. It is a fundamental, blind, ceaseless force that acts upon all things, without exceptions. The will is the gravity of life. It is an insatiable striving, a hunger that can never be filled, a thirst that can never be quenched. It is the raw, unthinking, desperate force that demands one thing, and one thing only: more life, more experience, more sensation. It is a blind impulse pushing forward, always forward, with no ultimate purpose and no final destination. Every creature you see is merely a vessel for this force, a temporary manifestation of this primal hunger. And you have been listening to the justifications the vessel creates, instead of the demands of the hunger itself. You have been deceived by reason. Reason is not the driver, it is the servant. It is the clever attorney hired after the fact to justify the crime that has already been committed by the appetite. A man does not seek a promotion because he believes in the company's mission. He seeks it because his will craves the status, the dominance, the feeling of ascendancy over others. The mission is the elegant excuse he tells himself and his superiors. The will's hunger for power is the cause. A woman does not leave a stable relationship to find herself. She leaves because her will is bored. Its thirst for novelty, for drama, for the intensity of new connection has become unbearable. Finding herself is the noble, poetic language used to mask the simple, brutal fact of a craving for new stimulus. Listen to them. They will tell you what they think. They will explain their philosophies. They will articulate their values. It is all noise. It is the static that conceals the signal. The signal is not, I think. The signal is I want. This is the diagnosis. You are surrounded by puppets, and you have been listening to their speeches instead of watching the puppeteer. You have been treating the symptom, which is their stated reason, and ignoring the disease, which is their unquenchable will. So, what is the cure? The cure is not for you. You are not sick in the way they are. The cure is for your blindness. It is a procedure to grant you a form of sight that few possess, an extra vision for the soul. The first step is to stop listening to their words for their meaning. and start listening to them for their temperature. Listen for the heat of desire. Ignore the I believe and the I think. Tune your ear to the frequency of I. Need, I must have, I can't stand it, I deserve. This is the will speaking its native tongue, without the clumsy translation of the intellect. When you hear this language, you are hearing the truth. You are hearing the engine, not the exhaust. The second step is to identify their core addiction. The will is a singular force, but it manifests in 1,000 different appetites. Yet in each person, 1 or 2 of these appetites will be dominant. They are the primary levers. For one person, it is an addiction to status and the approval of others. Their every action is a desperate plea for admiration. For another, it is an addiction to comfort and the avoidance of all risk. They will sacrifice any opportunity to maintain their placid, predictable existence. For yet another, it is an addiction to drama and intensity. They thrive in chaos and will create it if none exists, for they are starving for the feeling of being intensely alive. Identify this core addiction. This is their center of gravity. Everything they do will orbit this singular, desperate need. Once you see it, their behavior is no longer confusing. It is perfectly, painfully predictable. The colleague who undermines you is not evil. Their will is simply starved for recognition, and you are in the way of its meal. The lover who creates endless drama is not irrational. Their will is addicted to emotional intensity, and peace feels like death. The superior who is paralyzed by indecision is not weak. Their will is terrified of failure, and it will choose inaction over the possibility of being seen as flawed. A man can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills. Remember these words. They are the key to the cage. People are not in control of their deepest desires. Those desires are pre-programmed. They are fundamental forces. Their only freedom is in how they act upon those desires, and their intellect is merely the tool they use to get what their will already demands. To see this is a burden. The world becomes a simpler, colder, more mechanical place. The beautiful mystery of human choice reveals itself to be the frantic, blind striving of a puppet on a string. You will feel a deep, abiding melancholy for them, a detached pity, like a doctor observing a terminal patient who still believes they can be cured. But with this burden comes a terrible freedom and absolute clarity. You will never be surprised again. You will never be truly deceived again. You will see the hunger behind their eyes. You will see the thirst in their words. You will see their weakness, the one they cannot hide, because they themselves do not know it is there. And in a world the blind, the one-eyed man is not king. He is the sovereign.